Well, it's time to get back to work. I think, without question, we had a great feeling on Friday night coming out after the game. It was a big win for us. We had a great fan turnout at the game. They were into the game. Players came ready to play, and we played a full game to the end, and squeaked it out there at the very end. So proud of our team and our effort, and it was a good performance by us. So it was good to see us do that after 2 weeks of a bye week. With that said, it's one win, only counts as one, so we got to move on and get ready for our next opponent. In my opinion, every week anybody can beat anybody on a given day, and so you got to prepare well. You got to have a good plan. You got to execute, and you got to do a lot of things right in order to win. That's just how college football works. You get about 10 to 12 possessions a game. You got to make them work. We were able to force 4 turnovers against Miami. That basically helped us win the football game, among some other things that happened. So we've got to play efficient football. We've got to try to get leads. Obviously, when we get a lead, it helps us play good football. This really was the first game that we had a lead, other than maybe Eastern Kentucky. So we've got to continue to try to play good early on and take care of the football while we're doing it, and continue to find ways to get better and find ways to win.
Jeff, the past couple of years talked about the game after the big game. Obviously not as much success in those, but those were road games. How much does being at home do you feel like will help in that preparation to not have that letdown?
Well, I think you've got to practice hard and you've got to prepare hard, and you can't take your foot off the gas. It's been talked about before. I think as I looked at that, we played Wisconsin one year, Ohio State the next year, Michigan State the other. I mean, those aren't easy games, really any conference game is an easy game. So yes, we're excited to be back home. I think our team understands. James Madison came in here and had the lead, and we had to fight and scratch to get back. We have to play efficient football. We can't give team points, the team points. We've got to do the small things on every play in order to win. And I just think that, and we have to have a good plan going in as coaches. So I just think we've got to put the work in, and hopefully our team realizes that the work has to be put in, the preparation has to be put in, and then we've got to perform and take the test on game day, and that will not change. We've got to be good at it, and hopefully we understand that.
Jeff, the offensive line seemed to get much better, or play much better this past week. Was there anything, reason why that happened? Did they just have a good game? And I got a couple other things I want to ask you, but go ahead.
Well, I think that just like everything, when you lose, the quarterback's going to get the blame, the offensive line's going to get the blame, coaches will get the blame, which they should. And that's magnified. And when you win, it's magnified as well. Do I think we played better on the offensive line? Yes. Do I think having more balance and being a little more healthy in the backfield probably helped us as well. I think we had a few new wrinkles I thought that probably helped us as well. I thought that we got the ball out very fast, which helped us as well. But there are going to be times where we're going to have to drop back and hold it longer and throw the thing down the field. So we've got to continue to get better. And that's an area that we're going to work hard to do that. But our guys play hard, they practice hard. We just got to continue to clean things up and be as efficient as we can, play after play. And I think that will help us hopefully show improvement as we continue moving forward.
What's been the secret for Chris Bell? I know you like to throw to him, you've done it all year, but my gosh, in the last couple of weeks, he seems like he's at a different level.
Well, the great thing about Chris, to be quite honest, he's been with us since we've been here. He was here before we got here, and while he could have taken his talents elsewhere throughout the time, he stuck with it. And I'm just telling you the importance of sticking with something, being comfortable in a system, being comfortable with the coaches and players and the workouts and everything ties together. You know what? He didn't have the most catches the last 2 years. I'm sure he wasn't happy with it. We brought in a transfer, and they did a really good job, but he had quite a few, and he contributed, he did a great job. And now he knows he is the guy. And we've got Colin and other guys around, but he is the focal point, and because he's practiced hard for years now, and he continues to practice hard. I'll reiterate that, he practices hard every day. That carries over the game. And if he continues to do that and we keep him healthy, I think he can continue to go out there and play well, and I know our quarterback is very comfortable throwing to him.
Your secondary, what a job that they did. Just talk about them and your guys on your secondary. You've had some of them for quite a while, kind of the same deal. Have you ever had a team get 4 interceptions in one game that you can remember like that?
Well, I think that, yeah, we have. I do think that we've gotten better on defense. I think our plan is better. I think we understand it in more detail. I think the communication and being on the right page when the ball snapped has been more efficient. That all pays off. You know, that was a good quarterback and a good team. We got off to a 14-0 lead. We kind of kept the lead for the most part during the entire game, even though it got closer. And they felt they needed to throw the ball more than they had in the past. And I'm just telling you, when you can take a team out of their comfort zone and make them do things that they would rather not do on a consistent basis, the quarterback felt like he had to make a few more plays. And because of that, he kind of forced the thing up the field a little bit, and we were there to make the play. And I just think, and that's a great quarterback. I just think because those circumstances happened, and we made them do something that they hadn't done all year. They had had to lead every game. I mean, very soundly to lead every game. They were forced to have to throw the ball more than they wanted, and we took advantage of that, and we made the play when it was there, which doesn't always happen. You know, we kind of tease our defensive backs. There's a reason you're a defensive back, not a receiver. But they proved us wrong in this game. They caught all of them. Even one that was a penalty and got called back, they caught all of them, and they did a great job. So great job by our defense, and they really came through for us.
Jeff, speak to Boston College offensively, a good running back and an explosive wide receiver, and then defensively, last year, if I recall, they came out and did things you had never seen before. So how much does that make your guys really focus this week, knowing that they kind of surprised you a little early last year?
Well, it was 20-0. We were losing. The fourth quarter, we were down by 10, and we had to fight and claw to get back. And you know, if our guys don't remember that, then there's something wrong with them. So. You know, it's the same coaches. They've, unfortunately for them, had a couple close losses that have hurt them, but they easily could have won. They have a good quarterback play, really solid running back, the lead receiver in the ACC. The defensive scheme gave us some problems last year, so you know, we're going to have to play well. So I think that every team in our conference is competitive. You see it across the board every week, and we're going to have to play well to win.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned after the game that you had convinced your staff, offensive staff, I guess, to allow you, maybe if that's the right word, to do some of the things you did at the beginning of the game. How did those conversations go? Is that normal for you to have to sort of rule, I guess?
Well, it was kind of a one-sided conversation. But I like to listen to other people's opinions and hear them shoot some things down just to kind of have some fun with it, and they probably did. But you know what, I think that in general, we wanted to get more people involved. In general, I wanted to make their coach think a little bit as well of what could happen or what may happen. And I wanted to put them on their heels a little bit, and I thought against this really good team, we had to have a few new wrinkles. And I thought for the most part it was advantageous to us. So you know, for us, generating rushing yards is important, however we can do it. Generating some confusion and teams that think while we're doing something can help us. You know, every little thing I think matters as far as trying to run the ball and pass protect and move the chains, convert on short yards in the goal line. And we've got to continue to be creative with that. So I do think this opens up some things now that we can, you know, utilize to have a change-up, you know, whenever we need to. And without question, our players enjoyed that and had fun with it. And for this game, it worked. You know, we believe it or not, when we beat Iowa, they were number 2 in the country. We played 3 quarterbacks in that game. You know, our starter was Aiden O'Connell. We had a another quarterback who was really good at the zone read stuff, and we used him for that. I mean, another quarterback who was not good at it, but he could run the ball. If you just told him where to run with the lead blocker, and we did that. So I just think you kind of, it's important that we coach, and it's important that we do a couple different wrinkles every week and have it ready to go, and have the guts to call it when we need to.
Jeff, I want to go back to the offensive line, specifically Trevante Sylvester. He's a guy that, I guess, had some issues or whatever coming into the season, lost a bunch of weight, and was your highest graded offensive lineman against Miami. If you could just talk about his progress in return.
Well, you know what, he loves football, he understands our system, he plays hard, he's got good feet, he's a good athlete. That covers up a lot of things when it comes to maybe lack of weight. But he did a good job for us, and you know, he competes. And I just think that, you know, we adjusted a few things. It wasn't drastic, but we adjusted a few things up front. I thought for the most part, it helped us. There's some areas we for sure need to continue to clean up, but you know, having him back who has been with us for a while, it's just like getting anybody back at another position. It can help your team, and I think you know, he loves football, he loves to compete, he's been a great teammate, and we need him to continue to progress and play well and be as competitive as he is.
Jeff, you mentioned obviously having some wrinkles, doing some different things against Miami. Chris said there was a play in there for him that you guys didn't run, but he's hoping you run it against Boston College. Just overall, I mean, a lot has been made about the plays that you run in the playbook. Where do you get the most inspiration from in creating all of these different plays? I mean, is it somewhere, obviously the answer is other teams, but where is just some of the ways you kind of get inspiration from doing a lot of the things that you do?
Well, with me, I'm, you know, I may be different than others, but I'm always scared we're going to lose at the beginning of the week. And so I try to, all right, I got to think outside the box, and how can we create some plays and points, and I hate losing. So it's not till the end of the week that I start to feel a little more confident. But we just kind of threw some different wrinkles in, and yes, Chris has some plays that he can take advantage of. We didn't get to those, but he was a good decoy. You know, I just think that, you know, I've been involved with the defense more since the end of last season, especially in the off season. I think they're off to a great start, and you know, I try to see things from both perspectives and what can give them problems. And sometimes if you're only in the offensive room, you get narrow vision, and vice versa in the defense room as well. And I know what, you know, I think throws them off a little bit, which sometimes you're like, why does this throw you off? But it does. So I just think you just got to continue to be creative and put your players in the best position to win. And while you need to have a system and a package, it's okay to tweak that and throw some adjustments in there if you think you're getting your ball to the best players, and if you think it can help you win. And you know what, like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it looks like crud, and then you're like, why did I do something so stupid? So you just continue to work your way through it.
Jeff, you go off of that a little bit. You mentioned fun the other night a couple times. Chris talked about how much fun they had in practice, and you said people were kind of like, what's coming next, and to see what's happening. Even one of the defensive guys said that they kind of fed off of that. How much do you need that in the middle of the season when, you know, I mean, it can get, you know, long days and nights and things like that? How much fun do you have to have?
Well, I think it's very important. You know, it is a game. We all want to win. We all want to win bad. Players, coaches, fans, everybody, which is great. We want that. But man, you work year round. These guys work year round, and shoot, we just had one loss, and you just feel like crud, man. You get down. You're like, gosh dang it, man. I wish we could have done this, and that. You don't want it to deter the same work ethic you had, and the same energy, and the same drive that you had to be great, because it easily can. People read and they hear things and see things, and all of a sudden you lose. You're like, oh, okay, shoot, we're the worst team in the country. So you got to just find ways to make it fun. I want our guys, you know what, throughout the season, hey, I hope we win them all. But as things happen, you got to be able to continue to practice hard, and continue to love competing, and continue to fight the next fight. And that's why, I know it's generic, but for us, I mean, it is a one-game season, and we will continue to preach that. And no matter what we did the week before, win or lose, you're expected to win and have your best performance the next week. So we've got to get back this week okay, you've got to put your foot on the gas, and we're expected to have our best performance. So however great you think you did, or maybe you didn't do, you've got to step it up this week. And I just think you want them to enjoy putting the work in and coming over and doing extra. So whatever we can do to kind of make it fun, we want to try to do that.
The fake field goal early in the game, how long have you had that in your playbook? Since Trinity?
Well, I tell you, you know what, Coach Meslowski, our special teams coordinator, I think, you know, we hired him at Purdue our last year there. He was in a quality control role. I think every year he's gotten better and better, and he'll be the first to tell you, look, I want to be creative, and I want to make sure as you're studying anything you want to do, don't be afraid to bring them up to us and let's try it. And then if I see something even on Twitter or another team do, I'll send it to him. But without question, you know, he's done a great job of, in my opinion, the last, especially last year and up to this point this year, for the most part, we gained the advantage in special teams, which is huge. We've been outstanding kicking the ball, being accurate with that, and blocking. We've been pretty good on our return game this year. We carry fakes every week. It's just a matter of calling it. Sometimes when we have things in, I don't want to think about it too much, so I'll just have them come to me quickly before and ask me, and then we go with it or we don't. I don't want to think about it too long. But we have a plan going into it, and without question, we thought this look was there, and we executed it pretty well. And you know, we had some other things in too that we almost called, but we, you know, I didn't allow them to pull the trigger on it. But we'll see if we can use it moving forward.
Can you tell us what that was? No, I'm not kidding.
Mark, Jeff, how did you think Miller played in the game overall? I mean, what would you still like to see or see more of from him?
Well, I think, you know, I've talked about Miller before, where you know, this young man really cares. You know, he works really hard. Just like Tyler, he's coming here his last year to make a difference and to prove to people that he can be a productive player. And I can't talk more about the work ethic he puts in to do that. With him, you know, every player's different. The guys that care so much can sometimes press during the game because they just want to make every play and they want to do things right. They've got to be able to, you know, pull back from that and play a little looser, but be smart as well. Don't think that they have to do that. You know, right now, you know, he's not the most mobile quarterback in the world, and you know, when the play breaks down, he's got to be able to, you know, get up in there and get us some yards, or occasionally tuck it and run it, which we talk about every game. I don't think any rushes again other than some sneaks, so we've got to continue to work through that. If he does have to get outside, he's got to throw it away. Unless someone comes open, we don't need to force it. There were a couple times it was a little close there, so I just think he's got to continue to make good decisions. What he can do, he's an accurate passer. He can see things. He's played a lot of football. If we can get some things open and spread some things out for him, I think he can deliver the ball accurately. You know, sometimes tell him, look, every play's not going to be open right away. You've got to be able to have some patience and allow things to develop and work through things. And he's continuing to do that. And I think, you know, these guys really had a good pass rush, and you know, he knew that. So I think sometimes just relaxing in the pocket, throwing, having great poise, and standing in there firm and strong. I tell him every time, I say, every throw, I need you to throw with conviction. I mean, follow through, snap the wrist, be on balance, and if you do that, I'm fine. But you can't get caught going backwards and being indecisive too much, and that's easier said than done. I mean, you got people coming at you from all angles. You got blitzes coming. Sometimes it's blocked, sometimes it's not. And you just got to know where that outlet is. So I just think we'll continue to work through that. But that's with every quarterback. So even the you know, the ones in the NFL, you got to continue to work through that every week. But I thought he came ready to play. He was accurate with his passes. You know, he played a really good, solid football game, and we just got to continue to, you know, play good around him. I thought it helped that we were able to run the football and had some balance and didn't have to throw it 55 times a game.
One more, Matt's got one.
Jeff, kind of following up on that, you mentioned how Miller can sometimes be someone who maybe presses a little bit too hard, and after that Miami game, he was visibly emotional. Do you think that you guys coming through and earning that big victory can be maybe a watershed moment for him in order to maybe play a little bit more loose?
Well, I think he can, but I still think that, you know, he's gonna wanna win every game, he's gonna wanna make every play. But that's a part of playing quarterback. I think, even as you go back and watch him, in the past, maybe that's what happens sometimes in the past, and he sometimes pressed a little bit if things weren't going exactly their way, but I do think he played in a pass-happy offense, which puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So I just think, with every quarterback, good players around him that are producing, a package that identifies his strengths and tries to play to that, good defense, all those things matter, and I know that he'll work his tail off and he cares, and we gotta continue to just put him in the best position to get things done.
Very good.
Thank you.